Hello and welcome to this edition of the Sports Den. My name is Domenic Papa, and of course, usually on this show we talk about the goings-on in the world of sports, whether it's at the national level, whether it's at the junior level, or even here locally in Windsor and Essex County. On this edition of the Sports Den, we're going to talk about a very special event that was recently introduced to our city, that's coming to our city. It's a couple of years away, but certainly something to talk about here on the Sports Den. When we come back after the break, we'll introduce our guests and we'll get talking right here in the Sports Den.
Now, watch this. There, look. There's that expression on her face. There it is again. What's up with that? Just what the heck is going on there? There it is again. Ear to ear, that one.
Meridian, your money, your way. Imagine that.
It's not easy to pick yourself up when you've been kicked around a little. It takes guts, character, and hard work. But that's the kind of town this is. We don't quit when things get tough. Our team is like that too. They'll take everything you can throw at them and keep coming back for more. There's no other town quite like Windsor. And there's no hockey like Spitfires hockey.
Thanks for sticking around to the Sports Den. Glad to have you along for the ride. Domenic Papa bringing you all the sports talk in and around the area. Certainly glad to be back at We Television producing the Sports Den. As mentioned before the break, we're going to talk about a very special event that's coming to the Windsor and Essex County area. It's the CARHA World Cup Hockey Tournament. That stands for the Canadian Amateur Recreational Hockey Association. It's a great event. It's been ongoing for several years now, and Windsor was awarded this tournament recently, so we're very pleased to be talking to some of the people that helped make it all happen. They come in from the Ottawa area. Let me introduce our guests here today. To my immediate left, your right at home, is Lori Lopez. She's the Director of Business Operations for the CARHA Hockey Tournament, and to my far left, to your far right, is Reuben Greenspoon, the coordinator of the CARHA Hockey Tournament. Thanks for coming to the show.
Pleasure. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
It was really exciting to see this thing come together, and attended the press conference recently, and just to have that announcement come through was such a great thing for our area. What's it like for the two of you to go to these cities and hand out this event?
Well, over the course of about a 6-month process, there's a bid selection process. So communities from across Canada, there was over 35 of them that put forth interest for this event. We shortlisted down to 3, and they were St. John, New Brunswick, Quebec City, Quebec, and naturally here in Windsor. And so we had the opportunity to go and actually do site visits prior to awarding. So we check out everything from venues, arenas, hotels, tours, or some of the elements of your community that you want to showcase to these guys that are coming from all over the world.
Mm-hmm. So again, though, you two become almost like a Santa Claus for a city, so to speak. Yeah. You get to come in and say, okay, your bid won the games. Yeah. What's the reaction like usually when you make that phone call to whoever's bidding and you tell them, CARHA Hockey's coming to your city?
Well, Windsor was elated when they found out, and obviously it's a hockey community, so bringing another large hockey event, they were ecstatic to hear. So it was great.
How does that make you feel?
It was great. I mean,
do you get excited?
Really, definitely. I mean, you understand that the event that you're running is something that is wanted in the community. So it's great.
Now, this I believe began, if I was reading my information correct, 1975.
The association was established in 1975. So it was established as COHA, which is Canadian Old Timers Hockey Association, and then in '96 changed to CARHA, which represents adult rec hockey. So bringing in the younger groups.
Now, was that change made because of the growth?
It was changed to incorporate those that are 19 to 35. So really just to evolve with how we saw the demographic moving.
Sure. Makes sense, and certainly you get more people involved that way, and it's a big thing now.
For sure.
Talk to me about putting this together. Again, the two of you do a lot of the behind-the-scenes work that make this happen. The event goes every 4 years. It's like the Olympics. Is it a 4-year work in progress for you?
It really is. I mean, we start right after we finish the previous one and get right into it and start the bid process to determine where we're going to go in 4 years. And then from there, we enter contracts with all the different properties and facilities in the area. So it really is a long process to get it all done.
Is this like the dream job?
I love it. I love it.
Seriously, I mean, if you're a hockey person or if you're, it's got to be a dream job.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm sure
absolutely.
there's some stress with it. I mean, there's deadlines and things like that. But
Yeah.
to put something like this together and just know that you're pulling this off every 4 years.
It's pretty rewarding.
Yeah.
It's pretty rewarding to see from the start to finish. And we work with a great team. We bring in about anywhere from 30 to 40 of our team to help execute. And we're going to rely a lot on the local community and the volunteers here.
Well, good luck on that one.
Yeah.
No, we got good people here. We pull off a lot of great tournaments here. So
Yeah.
maybe tell our viewers some of the things that they may not realize what's needed to put something like this together and how tough the job can be at times.
It can be tough. I mean, we bring in close to 2,500 participants, and they're staying in the hotels. So there's about 800 hotel rooms per night that are needed. We use many facilities throughout the city. We're using the 3 main facilities, the WFCU Center, Tecumseh Arena, and the Vollmer Complex. So there's a lot of ice needed. There's a lot of hotel rooms, a lot of restaurants and bars that will be full for sure.
Where does this tournament now rank among tournaments in the world? Is this the largest of its kind?
It is, and in fact, we work very closely with the Old Timers Federations internationally, and they look to our association for guidance in helping them establish and execute their World Cups. They will run world events in the years that we do not run it. So the 3 years that we're not running, they will run one in a particular country selected over there.
All right. So when you go to us, you open. It's a bidding process to land the tournament. How does that happen? Does a group put in an application, and then I'm guessing up in your Ottawa office you have a group, a board of directors that the two of you are, I'm sure, part of, and you sift through the applications and get it down to a few finalists?
Yeah, essentially, there's like an intent to bid process, and so municipalities ranging from east to west coast, they will put in a letter of intent and say, we would like to bid on this. There's an extensive bid guideline that we put together as an association. And then they follow the guideline, submit their official bid submission, and as you noted, we have an executive bid selection committee that is comprised of members of our board, myself, Reuben, our president, Mike Pesky, and people from outside third parties, like legal partners of ours. And we do exactly that. We sift through, we do our own independent evaluations, and then we sit down together as a team and look at where each one falls out.
Okay, now Reuben, you got to be honest with us on this, okay? Because I have a committee for an event that I put together here locally, and I know we get into some pretty heated discussions. And it's from the heart. I mean, they truly care, and that's good. I look at it as a positive thing. I would imagine there's some pretty good debates at, hey, look, we got to look at this city before this city. And nothing against the other cities, just maybe something that the timing of it or whatever's going on in the city at that time. Is there some heated debates?
Yeah, I mean, we discuss and there's debates, definitely. I mean, we had almost 40 cities that were submitting interest for the event. So, I mean, there were some great cities that we sifted through and evaluated. So there's definitely a lot of talk.
No, that's good to know.
Yeah.
We're not the only crazy ones then. Mike Pesky, is it?
Yes.
He's the guy.
president.
He's the guy that got this thing rolling. He's the one that made this all happen. What's he like as a leader, and how gratifying is it for the two of you to be working with him?
Mike is a very strong leader. He's very visionary and strategic, and he sees what I would call the average Joe doesn't see. I've been working with Mike for more than 12 years, and I look to him as a mentor, and he's taught me everything that I've known, and I've tried to then carry that forward with the rest of our team.
Yeah, definitely. He's a great leader in the office, and obviously Laurie as well.
Talk to me about then getting this thing down to the final. I think you said final three you had,
The shortlist cities.
and obviously Windsor gets this thing. But who are the other two cities in the short list? And
There's St. John, New Brunswick,
okay.
and Quebec City,
Okay.
Quebec.
Talk to me about their bids. What you liked about them, and how tough it made the decision.
Well, St. John and Quebec were all three bids were very unique. St. John is a smaller community, probably much smaller than Windsor. So there was many things that St. John put forward that Windsor didn't, and same with Quebec City. Quebec City is obviously a beautiful city, but at the end of the day, I mean, we felt Windsor was, they had the amenities and the facilities and hotel properties that we felt were right for the event.
Now, this was in '96 was when you went to the next level of this tournament, correct? That you had mentioned, Laurie.
Is the new concept.
The new concept.
Yes.
And it goes every 4 years. You've had it in Toronto, Vancouver, Ottawa, Quebec City, and most recently in Sault Ste. Marie. So you mentioned Quebec City that's already had it, and they've rebid on this. Obviously, you get cities that keep coming at you. Eventually, you have to look at these cities, I would imagine.
For sure, and through the bid evaluation process, there is a score that we put aside for a team vote.
Okay.
So we actually look at the past participating teams and have them help us dictate. So if a city came back to us year after year in, through the bid process, and the teams were demonstrating that they were fine to go back to it, we certainly would consider it. But we do like to move it around to represent our membership and our great
Yeah,
great
means some
country.
good traveling for you and Reuben. As well, too. So that's not a bad thing.
It's great to see the cities.
It's the dream job, again. It's the dream job. So talk to me most recently about Sault Ste. Marie. Again, I'm somewhat familiar with Sault Ste. Marie. I travel there quite a bit with my hockey work and things like that. Very good hockey town, again, of course. Very traditional hockey town. Much like Windsor, a labor town, where you got hard-working class people that really put forth the best effort they can in everything they do. How successful was Sault Ste. Marie?
Sault Ste. Marie was fantastic. I mean, it was my first event that I was a part of, so I was fresh. But again, from what our participants said, I mean, they were treated like superstars while they were in Sault Ste. Marie. And we had 6,000 people out at two of our championship games. So I mean, to see that for an adult rec hockey game was amazing. So the city really embraced it. I mean, obviously, like you said, they are a hockey hotbed, and it was fantastic. It was an amazing event.
116 teams participated in that, and unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, I don't know. I don't. It depends on how people want to look at this, I guess. But obviously, there's a financial aspect in all of this for every community. Certainly for Windsor LaSalle and Tecumseh that are participating in this, there's going to be a financial benefit of sorts. But how much did Sault Ste. Marie benefit from it? And again, do you see them coming back eventually to try to host this thing?
Absolutely. In fact, when we left the Sioux, the mayor indicated that she was interested in having this event back. In the Sioux, that we generated, the event generated approximately $13 million in economic activity for the community.
That's a lot of beer drinking. Wow, man.
Yeah. These guys are, they're coming on their own.
Sure.
They're paying their own way. They look to see. This is not your typical hockey tournament.
Right.
This is a hockey festival. It's a hockey holiday, and that's while they're here, they'll have time to spend. They'll have time to experience your community. So, yeah, I think Windsor will be. It'll be really neat to see the response.
No, as mentioned, there was 116 teams there. In Quebec City, you had 167 teams. Was that because of the city being that much bigger and maybe the proximity of the tournament, or does that factor in sometimes?
It's oftentimes it's how many hotel rooms we have available.
Oh, okay.
In the Sioux, we were limited
Sure.
with hotel rooms, and which capped the participation rate. In Quebec City, naturally, they have many hotel rooms, so we could have continued to accept registrations. We continued to have a waiting list even at 167. But as we've talked about in our office, it's not, bigger doesn't always mean better. And we know that here in Windsor, we believe that we will have a very quick sellout for this event, and we already have teams from all around the world asking us, when can we start registering? So we think that it'll come in around the 120, 125 team.
That's where you come in, Reuben. You coordinate a lot of the tournament itself. How many? Can you gauge how many teams might be here approximately for the tournament?
We think it'll be anywhere between 120 and 140.
Really?
I mean, like Laurie said, we've already had many teams from around the world calling and emailing us to say, when can we register? And, how does it work? How do we qualify? Things like that. So, we think it's going to be a great response.
How tough is it for you, Reuben, to put the classifications together? I mean, I know you have age ranges, but certainly you have maybe an elite team, 50 and over elite team, and there might be another 50 and over team that maybe is not so elite. They play at a, kind of like a house league recreational league.
Yeah.
How tough is that? And is that have to be taken into consideration?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, we spend many hours going over all of the rosters, and we ask the teams to submit their skill level and the age and all that. But obviously, we need to do some due diligence on our end and look into the players and do some research for sure. In Sault Ste. Marie, I think we had around 22 or 23 divisions, so all the way from 19 plus all the way up to 70 plus. And in that, there's skill levels as well. So we'll have like a 45A, B, C, D sort of thing.
All right, quickly go through the categories, the age levels that are available, the divisions, and you mentioned A, B, C, and D, correct?
Yeah, so in 2012, we had a 19 plus division. We had an open division that was basically all the ex-NHLers and guys from the KHL, and then 35 plus, 40 plus, 45, 50, 55, basically 5 years all the way up. And we had a 70 plus division, and there was guys in their 70s and 80s. And we always also had a women's division.
All right, well, that leads me into my next question. I'm going to hold it right there. I got to take a quick time out, and I want to ask about women getting involved with this thing. And I want to also talk to you about what can Windsor expect when this all unfolds, okay? We're going to come right back here into the sports den and talk about more of the CARHA Hockey Tournament, recently announced coming to Windsor. We'll have that right here on the sports den.
This is our town. There's nowhere else quite like it. It's a strong town, a resilient town, the kind that takes its knocks and always bounces back. This is our team. It's a tough team, a hard-working team. And like our town, it takes everything you throw at it and keeps coming back for more. There's no other town quite like Windsor. And there's no hockey like Spitfires hockey.
What is it?
Is it a bank?
It kind of looks like a bank.
She just handed him some money. It's a bank.
But people are smiling.
Not a bank.
Not a bank.
Meridian. It's neighborhood banking reinvented. Come see for yourself. Through the door. Inside. Meridian. Your money, your way. Imagine that.
Well, it's got to be great for Windsor, I guess, because every time you got a tournament like that, you get all kind of people coming in and out, and you get together, and you like have a team from different places, people and all that. So.
How serious is the hockey?
Oh, it's really serious. Windsor, they got Windsor Old Timers got tournament, and I'm with the Mildew Maple Leaf, and we got a tournament coming in December, and we got 32 teams coming. So it's a big thing. We got a team from the state and Ontario and all over, closer to Windsor, actually.
Welcome back to the sports den. Thanks for sticking around. We're talking about the CARHA Hockey Tournament, which was recently announced coming to Windsor, Ontario, and the area. I've got to include LaSalle and, of course, Tecumseh in this. Without them, this wouldn't be possible. So we are looking at a great trio of area, cities, towns, whatever you want to call them, that's going to host this event in 2016. I believe it's in April of 2016. And certainly something for our area to look forward to. It's going to be a great hockey tournament, something very unique. And we have two great guests that's educating us about the event itself. We have with us Lori Lopez. She's one of the directors of the, she's the director of business, right? And we also have Reuben Greenspoon, who is one of the coordinators of the actual tournament itself. And again, thanks for coming in and joining us. I know the two of you are very busy on your little whirlwind tour here in the Windsor area. Let's talk about the quick tour of Windsor. Have you seen Windsor before coming here this time around?
We only came back, for myself personally, my first time here was with the site visit prior to awarding. Okay. So it was the responsibility of the bid slit committee from here to showcase what they wanted us to see, knowing that we were going to go back and evaluate. So that was it.
Was it an eye-opener at all?
For me, it was.
Yeah.
I had no idea what to expect, and it was a pleasant eye-opener. I mean, you have some incredible, just nature, the greenery. Caesars is an incredible property, and your arenas here are second to none. They are fantastic. You're a very fortunate community to have all of the venues that you have.
Yeah, we're a pretty hardcore sports town for sure. And we make things work one way or another, that's for sure. When you came and looked at Windsor, did you get a feel that, you have to almost get a feel, I would imagine, how would this city or this area react to this type of a tournament?
We felt that it was going to react in a positive manner. I mean, obviously, like we talked about before, it's a hockey hotbed. It's a passionate community when it comes to hockey. So that's big for us, is letting our participants come in and be welcomed when they arrive. Because I mean, many of them are coming from halfway across the world, so they want to feel like they're at home when they get here.
What are some of the countries that have participated?
We've had over 15 countries: Russia, Kazakhstan, the Scandinavian countries, Finland, Sweden, Slovenia, Switzerland. Basically, you name it, it's been in the hockey hotbed countries for sure.
How serious should this tournament be taken? I mean, I get a sense that it's almost like a friendship kind of tournament, to develop friendship with other people from other parts of the world. But I also sense, and being a former hockey guy, you still have maybe that competitive blood in you a little bit, that you want to go out and win this thing.
Yeah.
How competitive is it?
It's very competitive. I mean, we have guys that obviously they're all here for fun, and there are some guys that they are recreational and they don't take it that serious. But there's a lot of guys that used to play professional, and they still, like you said, they have that itch in them, and they want to win. Yeah. And they'll compete.
So how tough do the games get then? How is there a big gap from some teams compared to other teams, even if they're in the same category?
Yeah, there can be, for sure. I mean, we do our best to bring all the divisions and make parity, but from like a 40A to a 40D, there could be a huge gap, for sure. Okay, when we left at the break, it was mentioned the women were getting involved with this, which is a great thing. How important is that for the development of this tournament, and do you see it growing?
The women's division, we were fortunate in Sault Ste. Marie to have it for the first time. Naturally, women is the largest growing segment for the sport of hockey. And I'm sure you have that here in your community, just as we see it across Canada. What it becomes a little bit of a challenge is internationally it is not quite where Canada and the US are. So that is our challenge this year, this edition is to get some team over from Europe. A women's team to participate, and just to bring that international flair to that division.
Recently, we have a tournament here put on a great group of people called Oktoberfest. I don't know if you've become familiar with it. Maybe you have heard a little bit about it, and they do get those teams from all over. Do you coordinate with groups like that?
We do. We definitely work with local hockey groups, tournaments. That's part of our promotional marketing plan. Okay. We want to engage with them, and just as they're operating their events on an annual basis, we certainly can help promote for them, on a different level. So, that this event, and you'll see as the years go by, it really is all about partnerships and establishing relationships, and whether it's from a participant base, a business standpoint, or from your community to our association. So I think that, you'll see a lot of partnerships forged just through the hockey circles. Okay.
For something like this to be pulled off, obviously you talk about the leadership within your group that makes this happen, but within the community there also has to be a strong, volunteer base. Is that what you look to in this?
Definitely. I mean, we work with a local planning committee that is, comprised of city officials and tourism employees as well, but then on top of that, we do ask the community to help out, and we're looking for anywhere from 200 to 300 volunteers from the local community to help out.
And if they want to help out, do they contact the local organizers of this? Or
they can contact us. Yeah, they can go to the cup2016.ca and contact me for sure.
Okay, the cup2016.ca. We'll make sure we get that on, Reuben. I got to take another quick break. When we come back, we are going to talk about what to expect when it comes to Windsor. Talk more about that right here on the Sports Den.
It's not too late to start your post-secondary education at St. Clair College. We have everything you need to help you register for this September. Not sure what career path works for you? The knowledgeable staff in our admissions office can help you make that choice. Just bring in your transcripts and we'll get you started. We're here Monday through Thursday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Fridays from 10 a.m. till 4. For a list of open programs, go to our website. At St. Clair College, our focus is you.
This is the Olympics of adult recreational hockey. It's only held once every 4 years, and this region, our city and our region here, beat out 37 other communities across the country to host the event. So I think it speaks well to the work that we've done, the work that Tourism Windsor Essex Pelee Island has done in the sports tourism pillar. And based on this event and all the other events that we've been able to attract that will be happening over the next 5 years, I think we're certainly on track. We're not waiting anymore to have these things come into our lap. We're out aggressively finding them and taking the lead to bring them into the community. This is another example where City Council said we will make a $750,000 investment because the return estimated at $15 million. Boy, that's a pretty good return on any investment.
And we continue on here on the Sports Den. We have a very special edition of the Den going here today. We're talking about CARHA Hockey, Canadian Amateur Recreational Hockey Association. Of course, it's the World Tournament that has been announced coming to Windsor in April of 2016. We have Lopez and Reuben Greenspoon from the organizers of that event joining us here on the show. And again, I can't tell you how much excitement, the buzz that's around that this is coming to Windsor. It's a great thing for sure. Registration, teams that want to get involved, people that want to get involved. Best place to go for that, Reuben?
Yeah, if they go to thecup2016.ca and they can find all the information on the event. They can go on and learn how to register and contact me with any questions they have and find out more information about what's going to go on.
Is there anything specific on the registration that you want to maybe note to our viewers and make sure that they're aware of?
No, I mean, just that they can go on and find the information on the website, and any information would be on there, and they can go on and contact me for sure.
Now this tournament, it's a week long?
It is.
A whole week? Okay. Wow. That's a lot of days to do a lot of work in that period of time. What's going to happen? How does this all unfold? Talk to me about from getting this thing off the ground, the opening ceremonies, if there is, to the closing ceremonies.
So essentially, your community can expect these 2,500 faces coming into the city anywhere between April 2nd, April 3rd. We will do an opening ceremonies. The event includes an opening ceremonies. They'll play 3 games throughout the week, and which gives them time to go visit, whether it's the wineries, the Canadian Club, it could be any of the showcase elements of Windsor. They then will have up to 5 games, so in terms of playoffs, and then a closing ceremonies right before they head back home. So throughout that week, you guys are going to see whether it's tracksuits, different colors, head to toe, flags, walking up and down your streets. It'll be a really neat thing, I think, for your community to witness.
You mentioned, Reuben had mentioned that there's teams from all over the world that come to this. Obviously, there's a language barrier. How is that tackled?
Definitely. I mean, a lot of the guys won't be able to speak any English.
You speak a lot of languages, Amy.
I'm the translator.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have interpreters involved?
Yeah. I mean, some of the teams will bring their own, but we obviously, and I know in this community, it is very multicultural, so we'll rely on some people from the community as well.
Okay. Yeah. Now, as for teams, transportation, again, things that people may not think about, putting this thing together, getting them around. You mentioned tours maybe, stuff like that. Is that all part of the process here, and are those things going to be put in place? Or how do they get put in place?
Absolutely. So as soon as these participants arrive into your city, they're taken care of. So they're picked up, we coordinate the logistics of all the transportation to and from the airport, to and from all their games, and then random shuttling them around the downtown core and outside. There'll be tours that they can take part in. They'll be able to register in advance and also on site. Many of them like to go watch their fellow countrymen play, so they'll be able to hop on a bus and go be part of the audience and the spectator base. Free admission, so that's how we try to gauge.
Free.
There you
Everybody
go.
likes free.
So we try to engage the community that way as well, and you know, looking at other programs that we've talked about briefly, Adopt a School program. And they would then take adopt a team program that a school would take on, and just engaging the community.
This is obviously an incredible event that's evolved. Are you surprised at all, now that you've been involved with it for such a long time, at how this has taken off?
Personally, no. I mean, seeing it in 2012, it was an amazing experience, and to see the response from cities across Canada that wanted to bid, I mean, it was overwhelming, but I wasn't that surprised.
All right, we're going to wrap this up. This is going to be an outstanding event. you two will get no sleep in the 7 days that you'll be here in Windsor, but that's okay. There's a lot to do. There's a lot of great things in our city.
Yeah.
We're excited having you come to our area, though. Certainly, we appreciate it. We thank you for your support in our area, and certainly I look forward to seeing you down the road with this, and thank you for giving it to us.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks a lot.
Lori Lopez and Reuben Greenspoon of the CARHA Hockey Tournament. Again, get out to their website, look it up, folks. There's a lot of great information about this big event, and certainly we're going to benefit from it. And get involved. Again, the best way you can make this thing successful is to get involved. Okay, so that's it for this edition of the Sports Den. My name is Domenic Papa. We hope to see you again soon. We'll talk more sports with you right here on the Sports Den.